Speaking of the UN summit, what are we watching from that this week?
I think the most important thing to note is that Ukrainian President Zelenskyy will be in attendance. And then directly following the summit, he'll be coming back to Washington to meet with President Biden one-on-one at the White House. Zelenskyy is coming to the nation's capital at a time when the Biden administration is pushing Congress to authorize $13 billion more in military funding for Ukraine. This is a point of contention for Congress, as some lawmakers are now saying funding should stop altogether for Ukraine. But Zelenskyy will have an opportunity to make that pitch to congressmen in person this week. There are reports that he'll be going to Capitol Hill during his time in Washington, Natasha.
Okay, Evan Moon live for us in Washington tonight. Thank you so much. And for more on Zelensky's impending visit, to the U.S., we are joined by Joel Rubin, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State during the Obama administration. Joel, thanks so much for being here.
It's great to be with you, Natasha.
Let's start with Zelensky's visit coming up. There is this ongoing fight in Congress about sending more financial aid to Ukraine in its fight with Russia. What does Zelenskyy need to say this week? What can he say that will secure $13 billion more in military funding?
So at the core right now of the discussion about Ukraine, it's whether or not there's progress being made on the battlefield in the spring and summer and now fall offensive. This has been a critical argument that Zelenskyy and advocates for Ukraine have been making, that more military support is going to help Ukraine in its offensive, capture territory from the Russians, and really set this into a direction where they can negotiate from a position of strength any ceasefire that could be in the future. So that's what he's going to say. Keep the momentum, keep the support going. We have the strength, we have the offensive moving in our direction. That's going to be a good argument to make. He has to, of course, demonstrate that it's actually true. And that is something that there is still a lot of analysis as to whether or not the offensive has been working.
Any question in your mind of what will happen with the war in Ukraine if funding from the U.S. significantly decreases or ceases?
So, Natasha, imagine that you're blowing up a balloon and you keep on blowing up the balloon and then you suddenly stop. What's going to happen if it hasn't already been tied up? It's going to shrink. And that's the real concern here, is that if we don't continue to put funds and military supply in and support into Ukraine, it's going to lose its ability to continue this fight. Russia is not stopping. Vladimir Putin just met with Kim Jong-un to get more munitions and other military equipment from North Korea. So clearly the fight will continue from that side. So we need to keep on pushing and supporting Ukraine as it does engage in its offensive. Taking that away right now could be very damaging to Ukraine's efforts.
I appreciate that, Joel. And I want to talk about North Korea in just a moment. There is, we've had so many residents on this show with us, whether it be East Palestine or Maui or even in Florida recently after the storms, who express frustration and say, we are dealing with enough here at home. Why are we sending so much money overseas? What would you say to them?
Well, we are dealing with a lot here at home, and we need to always be taking care of our people here at home, first and foremost. We have, however, a $3 to $4 trillion overall budget annually. We have, and we are spending over $800 billion on defense. Ukraine, as a slice of that, is much less than, over the 2-year period, less than 5% of that budget. So we have the capacity, we have the money, and we have the wherewithal to take care of people here at home, as well as our allies and our security abroad. And remember, this is not just a gift or a giveaway. And I know that your report earlier said this, but it's true. If Ukraine continues in this fight, it's going to continue to reject Russia from invading other countries into NATO and threatening our direct interests and our economic stability. We already see how Russia's invasion has spiked inflation over time, raised prices on foodstuffs, on wheat, on oil. And so we have to be very careful to not turn away from one side just because of problems here at home.
Okay, I really appreciate that context. And Joel, I want to ask you about North Korea's relationship with Putin. We know Kim Jong-un just wrapped a 6-day trip to Russia. He was welcomed open arms by Vladimir Putin. And the visit definitely sparking fears of a weapons deal between the two. How concerned should Ukraine be about this meeting, and how concerned should we be?
Well, Ukraine should certainly be concerned, because this means that North Korea will be providing more munitions and supply to Russia to continue its fight. But we also here should be concerned. North Korea is looking for more advanced technology, better rockets, a better ability to deploy its nuclear arsenal. And Russia has that capacity to do it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.